Hello and welcome to your 13th and final test tube kit. Your kit contains the following: 50 sheets of white A4 paper, a pair of eyelet pliers, 100 brass eyelets, a wooden mandrel, and a quantity of nuts and bolts. You may also need an item such as a knitting needle and a Phillips head screwdriver. Your 13th kit forms something of a challenge, and there will be prize winners in two categories. You have to use the equipment that we've given you to build a structure. You can choose either to build a structure as tall as you possibly can, or one that will support the heaviest weight. But we require the weight to be supported at least 500 millimeters from the ground. Now I'm going to show you how to make the components for your structure. Firstly, take a sheet of white paper and a wooden mandrel and carefully roll the paper around the wooden dowel. This takes a little bit of care. You need to curve the edge of the paper first. When you've got it lined up all the way along, you can simply roll the paper across a flat surface and you've got the beginning of one of your structural members. Next, take the wooden mandrel out from inside the paper tube. Hold on to the paper tube as it will unravel otherwise. Next, flatten the end of the paper tube and take your eyelet pliers. If you look carefully at the eyelet pliers, you'll see that both ends are different. One has a hole and one end has a protuberance that fits inside the hole. Take one of your eyelets and put it on the side of the eyelet pliers with the hole. And then place the paper tube where you flattened it in between the pliers and gently press. You might like to work the pliers around a bit. You might need to put quite a lot of pressure on. But what will happen is your eyelet will fix the paper together. Turn it over, give it a good squeeze. You might need Mum or Dad to help with this, because you really do need to give it a good squeeze. And when you've done that, you'll find that your paper tube will hold together. Here's a member where I've put a hole and an eyelet through both ends. This is where you could use the knitting needle. Here I've got a kebab stick, just to clear the hole out. Ready to take the nuts and bolts. I'm going to put this member into a small structure I've already built. The screwdriver comes in handy just to ease the screws through if the eyelets are a little tight. The screws are long enough to take 3 members at once, but you need to make sure that the eyelets are pressed down very tightly with the pliers. If the screw doesn't fit through 3 eyelets, give them another squeeze. And this is my final joint. What I need to do is to get a nut onto there. And that forms a pretty strong structure. You'll soon learn, if you don't know already, that structures with triangles are the strongest of all. They're called geodesic structures. And what we want you to do is to come up with the tallest or strongest structures. Come on, test tube members, show us what you can do.